How important is that that Saturday show to you and its messaging?
Yeah, it's really important on a personal level. Obviously, I don't get paid to do it. I don't want to get paid to do it. I do it because I'm blessed to be alive. Because that may not have been the case going back a number of years, and I'm blessed to have this platform, not just to do what I do as an entertainer and performer, but I made a pledge. I went to rehab out in Prescott, Arizona, and I've told this story before, so I appreciate you just allowing me to say it again.
Yeah.
And I'm in rehab with about a dozen other men and women from all across the country. And very quickly, they figure out, what I did for a living. And before I left the rehab, we had what amounts to a family dinner. And at this dinner, the collective group of fellow addicts said, listen, there isn't a face of gambling addiction, right? And it's kind of like an invisible, silent addiction in that there's no blood test for it, no urine test. If I lined 10 people against the wall and told you 3 of them are compulsive gamblers, you can't tell me which 3 they are. And they asked me if I'd make them a promise, and that is, if I ever got back on TV or radio, use that platform, for good, to share my story and the stories of other addicts, so we could start to humanize gambling addiction. And I made them a pledge that I would. And WFAN has allowed me to do that. And for all the great career success that I've been really fortunate to have, and all the great people I've been really fortunate to work with and for, Hello, My Name is Craig is the single most important broadcast I've ever done. And both Fox and Fan acknowledge that and are collectively allowing me to continue it. And it's really important that I do it.
When is the last time that you made any sort of bet?
5 years plus. So the end of June back in 2018 is the last wager I made. And I remember it not just because it's the last one, but embarrassingly, it was after rehab. And because, part of being a gambling addict is an out of control ego about my ability to wager and play blackjack specifically, I went to a casino in Pennsylvania and I had $60,000 in cash. I took 30 grand in the casino with me and purposely left 30 grand in my car in the parking lot. And I want to prove to myself that if I lost the 30 grand I went in with, I wasn't going to go get the other 30 grand and gamble. And up and down, up and down. And then I'm playing 2 hands at once. And I've got 2 splits and a double. And I don't have enough money to play it. And because, I don't know, I guess my addiction was so out of control, I wasn't willing to misplay the hand. In other words, I'm going to get the money because I have to double this hand because I got to play the game right. And I went and got the other 30 grand and lost it. And that's the last time I ever made a wager.
Does, obviously you're dealing with your own addiction yourself. Does attempting to become the face of that sports, the gambling addiction, and working with FanDuel, does it put added pressure on you? Is that almost make dealing with your personal addiction harder?
No, for me, and I wish I could explain why. I can't explain why. I don't know why I stopped. So let me start with that. I just don't know. I think it's the last part of my, journey of recovery is to try to figure out, with the proper therapists and professionals, which I'm not, obviously. I don't know why I stopped. I don't. I gambled every day pretty much, over about a 2-year period uncontrollably, obscene amounts of money, et cetera, all well documented. We don't need to go over it again. And then one day when I failed that personal test, I just stopped. And I'm not sure if I wish I could tell you why. I can't. It's like a great mystery to me for someone who was so in the deep end with it to then just cold turkey stop.
Right.
I don't know why my brain or my body allowed me to do that. The partnership with FanDuel and obviously being surrounded by gambling everywhere you go now, which is impossible not to be, for me works. It's kind of counterintuitive. It's a daily reminder of being in prison, a daily reminder of throwing everything I worked for out the window, and a daily reminder of who I don't ever want to be again. And I think that's very valuable.
You're about 2 weeks away from the 6-year anniversary of your arrest. Is that a difficult day? Do you reflect at all, or you just kind of try to go about your day as normal?
Yeah, it only came up. It's funny you asked that. So September 6th is Chris Christie's birthday. Okay, number one. Number two, the day I got arrested, and in a weird case of irony, it's the day I started the Fox show. And that has kind of turned September 6th into a more positive day. But even prior to doing the Fox show, I'm aware of the date, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't any more difficult than any other day. I'm a gambling addict. Gambling cost me everything I had in life. Bad decisions and all the things that I did all stems from gambling. Not that gambling's illegal, it's not, but it all led to other bad decisions. So whether it's September 6th or January 4th, I know who I am and I own it. And for anyone out there that has a problem with who I am, that's your problem. I know who I am. I'm a compulsive gambler. It cost me everything. And I'm blessed to have this great opportunity to rebuild my life personally and professionally. And I do not take that for granted.